So, Xavier, you gotten to play against Jayson Tatum. Now you get to play with him. Do you feel like he deserves more love in the MVP discussion?
Definitely. I thought at first he was just a scorer until I realized his defensive passing and rebounding ability. Like, he almost had a triple-double last night. And like I said, it was efficient. Like, it didn't look like it was, damn, JT really had to, like, get in his bag and shoot tough middies to get there. Like, it was like, no, he's going to the free throw line. He's dunking. He's throwing these wicked around the back passes. Now you got to look out for him when he's with KP. Like he got this thing mastered now, where it's like if you leave him, he's going to the cup and finishing or getting fouled. Or if you double him when he's driving, he's got this sick around the back that he's mastered. That I'm like, I didn't have the respect for his passing ability before I got here because I just, you don't see the passing and the highlights for real. You just see the scoring. So when you get in person, you see that. And then the defensive ability, like I've seen him really move his feet and take the pride. Like, nah, you're not just about to score. Because I know, because he's a guy who would get the ball back on offense if he got scored on. But his pride in his defense, like we went to New York and he had a couple chances to guard Jalen Brunson, and he was locking him up, like standing in front of him, moving his feet, showing his hands. Like, so I was like, okay, well, he definitely needs to be in that discussion. Not to mention, we're number one in the league.
So during a recent interview with The Athletic, Tatum had this to say about his MVP case this season. He said, I don't have the points per game that the other 3 or 4 guys will, but I think the voters are smart enough to understand the dynamic of our team, essentially having to do less scoring, maybe on certain nights, but still impact the game in a lot of ways to kind of ensure that we win every single night. So somebody who's come in support of Tatum is Draymond Green, who was on his podcast recently, offered some thoughts on Tatum and how he's viewed in the league.
In this guy's case, he's 5th, and they got a 7.5 game lead. That goalpost is moving on JT. I don't know what JT got to do. I do know what JT got to do. I told y'all last time what JT got to do. JT will not be taken serious for the MVP until he wins a championship. And it just hasn't been that way for everybody else, I must say. It's not that way for Joker. It's not that way for Giannis. It's not that way for Joel.
So when you listen to what Draymond said, do you feel like Tatum's held to a different standard than some of those other guys he mentioned?
The problem is you don't know what the criteria is because it changes. It changes year after year. I mean, you got, guys who are, they're 5th one year, their team is 5th, this and that, and then they win it, and then they become 2nd, they win it, and then when they're 1st, they don't win it. This guy who had the 4th, their numbers not, fluctuating. Like, where's Joker at? Is he 1?
I think he's been leading the race.
So last year his team was 1, and he didn't win MVP, right? This year he's team is 3rd,
I believe, yeah.
And he's leading the pack in voting. And you were the champion last year. Your team was number 1 last year, and your team is 3rd this year. That's technically a disappointment in a sense of, voting, but they got him number 1, which is, we don't know what their criteria is because they're just picking who they like.
I think it got something to do with
Boston?
They held to a different standard, like the Lakers are. Held to a different standard as far as team, far as like everything. So if he isn't winning it, or if he hasn't won one, then it's like, is he that? In their mind, in the voters' mind, I'm just trying to figure out like why. But that's one scenario. But the other thing is, over the last few years, who has he played better than? Right? When Joker won back-to-back, did he play better than Nikola? No. Did he play better than Giannis when Giannis won back-to-back? That's tough to say. Did he play better than Embiid? It's tough to say over the last 6 years. Right? Because he.
But that's what I'm saying. When we say better than, right, is his team better than their team? Like that's what I said, it changes.
I'm saying, did he play better? I'm not saying, did he individually, what year is Jayson Tatum in?
I believe it's 7 seasons.
Year 7?
Let me double check.
So we go back, count 6 MVPs. You got 2 back-to-backs.
two back-to-back.
Yeah, you know, so that's 4. Then you got Joel 5.
And then who's before?
Who won MVP before?
Giannis.
Giannis. Was it
Joker.
Was it
Embiid.
James? No.
It would have been.
Who's the last 7 league MVPs?
Let me give it to
It
you.
would have been James or Curry.
So Westbrook, Harden, Giannis, Joker,
Harden.
Embiid.
So it was James Harden. So that would have been his rookie year. So who has he? So Draymond's point is only time that is now, and the year is not over, right? If he's 5th, it's disrespectful right now to have him 5th if he's 5th in MVP voting right now. But this is the only year that you could say that Jayson Tatum should be in the discussion for MVP.
I mean, last year they were 1. They were ranked. They were 1, and he was playing well.
And the guy that won it shouldn't have won it.
Yeah, see, but that's,
So that's my.
But
so
that's what I said,
you know,
it's like-
so it's like where does, because if the guy that won it wasn't supposed to win, the guy, so Joel won it, we thought Nikola should have won it, right? So either one of them guys last year, so Jayson Tatum he's still 3rd.
But at least gives you.
Even if his team is 1st, he's still 3rd to vote.
But that's what I'm saying. But when you mess up one year, you kind of try to autocorrect it the following year. So it's like, well, what do I need to do this year? If this number 1, fucking 4th with this, I'm 1. That's what I said. It kind of.
Well, it wasn't gonna be able to autocorrect this year because
Embiid.
if Joel don't get hurt, he wins the fucking
Yeah,
MVP.
now, but what happens here? Because the person they have number 1 is not the number 1.
And we all agree on that right now.
You know what I mean? So
And they're defending champs, right, too? So just
if you're defending, you're defending champs. Your whole team is back. You supposed to be +7 and all of this. So the fact that you're not considered a top team in a sense of your record, how are you playing like an MVP? What are you doing MVP like? Nothing.
This is biased voting shit.
You know what I mean? So that's why I said right now for me, Shea is 1, right? His team, the youngest team in the NBA, no superstars, no nothing, and this is where they are. That is MVP. He has the number, he has a record, and shit, the fact that he don't have nobody on his team that's an all-star, that shit, I don't even know if any of them was first team all rookies, whatever, right? That's what he's rolling with.
Yeah.
Jason, y'all was number 2 last year, right? Right? Your record. So it'd be like, okay, he's 1. Luka, what he's doing, where his team is, you're 3.
But you got to put Anthony Edwards in there.
Anthony Edwards. So Anthony Edwards is 2.
So you have to go. If you looking at the game right now, you've been honest. You got what Shea is doing, of course. He's leading because of all the things that you said. Jayson Tatum definitely should be 2. Anthony Edwards 3. And if you want to have Nikola 4th in this, because of what he does nightly on a nightly basis as far as an individual player, yeah, I'm with it. Luka 5th.
And then Giannis deserves some love in that mix, or is the squad this year?
He is the new LeBron James, right? Every year, if you want to, you can give it to him. Like, you just have to choose, like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to have to give this motherfucker to somebody else this year, because, right? Because every year that LeBron was in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Every single year, he could have been league MVP. When he went to Miami, could have been a league. It just...
You're trying to figure out how not to give it to
the Lakers, the man is carrying teams, making final, like so that's what Giannis is now. So at any given year, if you just want to, who won it last 2 years? We're going to give Giannis this one this year.
We're going to fuck them the last 2 years.
So he's that, because he's going to be that, and so, yeah, he's going to always be in the discussion. But if we're talking what your team is doing, success, how you're playing individually, what you have around you, how you impact them, all those things are considered for MVP, which should be at least.
So just
But Yeah, so I think we got a list that I think is a honest assessment of the game, where teams are and where individuals are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we look at that Celtics squad, like we said, 7.5 game lead in the East, best team in the league. How good is that team without Jayson Tatum?
Good.
You still think?
They're still good. They have a good team.
For sure.
Right? I mean, how many All-Stars you got in? 1, 2, 3, 4?
It's where they should have been.
Huh?
I'm saying what this year's, they should have had 3 this year.
They should have had 3 this year, but overall they got, 1, 2. Porzingis made it.
Al Horford.
Yeah, shit.
So you have high level. Yeah, and Drew Holiday.
So, I mean, they have a star. I mean, overall they have the most talent on the team. I mean, in the league. So, and I think that, in me, that knocks Jay a little bit. That's why I can't put him number 1 or 2. Only because your team has gotten better, right? So even though y'all was second last year, you added better pieces to enhance your team's winning percentage, right? So that's a great thing for you as a team, but it's a knock against you.
But should be penalized to 5th, though.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's 5th as it is right now. And then he talked about, and Draymond said he has to basically win a chip to get that level of respect. Would a chip stamp him over some of those other guys or put him on a?
But he's still no league MVP. So what? That's not.
Would it change his?
He can win a championship this year, and still never win a league MVP. Because these other guys are still fucking playing. These other guys are still getting better. These other guys still putting up these numbers, and you got to worry about the younger crop that's coming up. And so no, it could still very well much be that, right? He can win a championship this year, and they can come back next year, be in the same position, be first, do all this shit, and they can still have him 5th in MVP voting. So I don't think it moves the needle at all.
And that's the problem with the criteria, because we don't know what exactly they're going by, but we know the motherfucking bias. Because there's no way, if the guy's the best player, we know he's the best player, he can win it every year. There's some, Jordan. I mean, if he was the best player and they won, it was the most unstoppable team every fucking year. I mean,
yeah.
You're telling me, so the 3 years he won championships, he wasn't the best player with the best team and the best record? I mean, right? So he should have, 3 sets of goddamn...
Yeah, everything.
There should be 3 sets of goddamn MVPs.
Everything.
Right, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, because, one, you get tired of it, and that becomes the problem. You can't get tired of greatness.
Yeah.
That's not how this works. Oh, we got to give it to someone else because no. No, you just don't. JT, there's gonna be 1 year where he's averaging 28, his team is 1, and he's gonna be like, all right, JT winning. He's gonna the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
I've been doing this shit for 6 years, and I wanted when
You're Dirk Nowitzki, and they're gonna be like, here you go.
When Dirk Nowitzki won it, you can sit around and be like, oh, okay, all right, okay. All right. Right, he was a fucking average 24 teams in first place, where they went to the championship the year before. So I'm expecting him to be in first place because Shaquille O'Neal and all of them are hurt. So the second best team should be number 1. I mean, if we're just going by what we expect. What we expect is Miami to be number 1, Dallas to be number 2 going into the season. Well, Shaq and all of them got hurt, so Dallas, you're going to be number 1 this year. Oh, and you're averaging a cool 24. Got it. There's not. I mean, let's put you where on the scoring list. You're okay.
Talking about some bias.
8.
Yeah.
Okay, where you at in rebounding? Oh, not even in the top 5. Okay, yeah. It's
nigga, the year you can't tell me J. Kidd wasn't supposed to win MVP, bruh. Talking about some fuckery going on. And we won 26 games in my rookie year. We won 52 the next. We flipped our record.
That's how Steve Nash won his, right? They was bullshit. They just added him. Boom, 62 wins, MVP. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's what I said. But that's what I said. When something drastic happens, we get it. You know what I mean? you know, some of these are not drastic, and it's drastic the other way. Like you go from, you know, 2 to them third or fourth, and you still winning because your production went up 2-3 points.
Yeah.
So.